In an era where every electric vehicle company is locked in a battle over range, charging time, and price, a piece of news has emerged amidst the noise that has, well, shaken the entire industry. CATL's new solid-state battery. The name might suggest it's just another ordinary update, but the reality is far more profound. CATL is the company considered the backbone of most of the world's electric vehicle batteries today. And now, this same company is working on technology that could change all the old rules of the electric vehicle game. Imagine if the fear of battery fires was virtually eliminated, charging took only minutes, and the range increased so much that even petrol cars would be put to shame. What would happen then? And the biggest question is, if all this actually comes to the market, what will Tesla, BYD, and other electric vehicle giants do? This is why many CEOs aren't speaking openly. But, there's a lot of activity behind the scenes. In this video, we won't just hear claims, but we'll understand what CATL's new solid-state battery actually is, how it differs from today's lithium-ion batteries, and why some experts are saying it could be the biggest turning point for the electric vehicle industry. And yes, there's a revelation at the end that will compel you to stay until the very end of the video. Before we proceed with the video, please subscribe to the channel so you can be among the first to see such videos. Before we learn about CATL's new battery, let's learn a little about CATL, because if you understand who CATL really is, you'll understand why the entire electric vehicle industry becomes wary when this company talks about solid-state batteries. CATL isn't a name that suddenly appeared in the news or became the talk of the town because of a single model. CATL today stands at a place where the entire electric vehicle industry breathes its last. No matter how large most electric vehicle companies in the world are, their vehicles can't hit the road without a battery supplier like CATL. Simply put, the battery is the heart of an EV car, and CATL is at the forefront of making that heartbeat. CATL may have originated in China, but today its influence extends worldwide. From Tesla to BMW, Mercedes, Volkswagen, Hyundai, Honda, and, many other major names rely on CATL batteries in one way or another. Many people think that the real power in the EV industry lies with car manufacturers, but the truth is that battery manufacturers hold the real control. Car designs can be changed, software can be updated, but if the battery isn't reliable, affordable, and can't be produced in large quantities, the entire plan stalls. This is where CATL played its biggest trick. CATL isn't a company that simply showcases technology in the lab and issues a press release. Its true strength lies in manufacturing scale. Today, CATL produces so many batteries that it dwarfs the total EV demand in many countries. This is why when a new EV brand wants to enter the market, the first question is, who will provide the batteries? And often, the answer is CATL. This company has made batteries not just a component, but the foundation of the entire industry. CATL's second major strength is its experience. CATL has worked for years on every level of lithium-ion batteries: safety, energy density, life cycle, cost reduction, and honestly, this is the company that has continuously experimented with different chemistries, from structured batteries like blade designs. While other companies were still discussing what could be, CATL was working on how to produce at scale. This is the difference between a startup and an industry leader. To call CATL just a technology company would be incomplete. It's a strategic player. This company already understood that the future of EVs wouldn't be limited to cars, grid storage, commercial vehicles, trucks, buses, even energy storage systems. The need for batteries would increase everywhere. CATL planned accordingly. That's why when this company talks about new battery technology, people consider it not a fantasy of the future, but a reality to come. This is why when CATL talks about solid-state batteries, no one can call it just another prototype. People know that if CATL is serious about a technology, it already has the supply chain, factories, raw materials, and long-term plans in place. This fear, honestly, haunts many EV companies. If CATL sets the next battery standard, car companies will be forced to follow suit, whether they're ready or not. Today, CATL isn't just a battery supplier, it has become the backbone of the EV industry. If you look at any EV advertisement today, everything seems perfect. Long range, futuristic design, large screens, smart features, and software updates. But beneath all these shiny things lies a truth that very few people talk about openly. That truth is today's lithium-ion battery. This battery is the heart of every EV, but it is also its weakest point. No matter how advanced an EV may seem from the outside, the battery technology inside is still based on outdated principles. The first and biggest problem is its liquid electrolyte. In simple terms, today's batteries contain a flammable liquid that helps ions move around. This liquid makes the battery functional, but it is also the biggest danger. A slightly higher temperature, a minor short circuit, or increased pressure during an accident, and that liquid can burst into flames. This is why we hear reports of EVs catching fire, and no matter how much companies try to hide it, the fear has taken root in people's minds. Another major problem associated with this is thermal runaway. This term may sound technical, but the meaning is very simple. When the battery temperature goes out of control, it starts to heat itself up even more. One cell heats up, it heats another, then a third, and before you know it, the entire battery becomes a ball of fire. This is why it is often difficult to extinguish an EV fire for hours after it starts. Even pouring water on it doesn't put out the fire because a chemical reaction is taking place inside. This is the truth that raises a big question mark over the safety of EVs. Now let's talk about charging. Companies make a big fuss about fast charging, but in reality, lithium-ion batteries are still very sensitive to charging. Charging too fast will reduce battery life, cause overheating, and increase safety risks. This is why companies limit charging speeds. This means that no matter how fast a charger you use, the battery itself will say, "Slow down." This is why, while filling up with petrol takes 3 to 4 minutes, charging an EV still takes 30 to 40 minutes, or even longer. This is what keeps people away from EVs in everyday use. Another major problem is weight. Lithium-ion batteries are very heavy. A large part of an EV's design goes into managing the weight of the battery alone. A heavy battery means more structure, more material, and higher costs. This is why making small and affordable EVs is still not easy. The heavier the car, the more energy it takes to run it, and this also affects the range. Companies try to increase the range by putting in larger batteries, but this increases both weight and cost. It becomes a vicious cycle that is difficult to break out of. Now let's talk about battery degradation, which hardly anyone talks about openly. Over time, the capacity of lithium-ion batteries decreases. After 2 or 3 years, the same battery doesn't provide the same range as before. Charging becomes slower, and sometimes replacement becomes necessary, which is very expensive. This fear also prevents people from buying second-hand EVs. In a petrol car, if the engine breaks down, there is an option for repair. But if the battery fails, the entire system has to be replaced. The biggest point is that today's EV battery technology is not really anything new. Lithium-ion batteries were developed years ago for mobile phones and laptops. The only difference is that today they have been scaled up and put into cars. This means that instead of finding a new solution to the real problem, we have simply scaled up the old system. A layer of software, design, art, and marketing has been added on top to make everything look very modern. It's not just a name, it's a complete system transformation. Whenever people hear the term solid-state battery, they think it's a minor technical upgrade, like adding another lens to a camera. But the truth is that solid-state batteries aren't just a minor improvement, like they change the entire concept of batteries. To understand this, we first need to forget that a battery is merely a container that stores charge. Essentially, a battery is a chemical system, and the weakest part of that system has always been the liquid electrolyte. Solid-state batteries hit the spot where all modern batteries are weak. In simple terms, today's lithium-ion batteries contain a flammable liquid called the electrolyte. This liquid allows the ions to flow from one end to the other, allowing the battery to charge and discharge.